Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everybody. And today we are going to kick off uh, a chapter in where we're talking about Linux up to some point now. So today we want to talk a bit about a few things. Today's agenda is going to focus basically on website hosting, and then we'll talk a little bit about uh, the testing techniques that are out there. Then when we eventually get into next week, we are going to get into Grafana dashboards. So today we're going to get into dashboard Linux cockpit. So let me show you so that you can start thinking of what a data center looks like in terms of some terminology, right? One of the terminologies of data center is that when you get to work and when you put this on your resume and when you are trying to tell people you work in a data center, right, and you have that experience, don't ever say you have never worked in a data center. You will say you have worked in Nexus data center out of Houston, Texas. Okay, so you would never want to say you never worked in a data center today. Okay, it's like you never even have a real job in IT. So do not make the mistake. So I have designed these slides thanks to AI today. We can create a lot of images that I have in my mind. I can actually put them out in a cartoon. Uh, so what we have here is you can see that there is a key word when people say, what do you know about data centers? So you must know this word and you must memorize this word, rack and cable matrix, right? Straightforward. You have a bunch of racks. Racks are in front of you. You can see them here. These are the racks, right? These are all the racks, rack one, rack two. You can see the cable trays. These are all the cable trays coming from the top, right? And you can see all the cables coming from top down, right? You can see the cables coming top down. What we are not showing over here is obviously there is always some of them. You can see there is air conditioning here, which keeps the place cool. It is AC over here. You can see the AC. Um, you have a whole system of a grid in the floor. You can see there's a grid. They usually can keep a grid on the floor, right? Data center floor grid, right? And the reason they have this grid is because it allows them to know on a spreadsheet, literally on a spreadsheet, floor grid. You can see here is the floor grid, right? So like an Excel sheet, you are on you are on grid A1, okay? Maybe this is grid A1, so everything in this grid from this side to that side could be A0, then this is A1 and A, it's actually just a row and row and row, right? A1, A2, A3, that's the grid, as you can see on the bottom, right? And then the cabling system doesn't is nothing new. Cabling is using the good old principles of what an electrician does today, or any company has a cabling method, how to label them, how to follow them, how to track them, because you have so many cables. You have to have color coding on the cables. So that's why this is called a cable matrix, right? Cabling. Then it says the Linux server. You know, they'll have something that says, okay, which one is this one? What is this? You can see that this has a red tag. I'll put a red tag on this one. Red tag over here. I mean, if and then you can see that this is a new one coming in here. This is a new one, right? So when you are putting a new one, the word, anybody know the word for that? If you're putting a new machine into the rack, uh, what do you call this activity of putting a new one and removing an old one?
Rack and stack, sir.
Rack and stack, yes. Very good. Rack and stack
Commi
is going on. You can see this
co
guy is doing racking and stacking. That
commission
is
and
the active. That
decommissioning.
is. Thank you. I didn't hear that. Please, can you say it loudly, please?
Decommissioning and commissioning.
Decommissioning and commissioning. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is the answer. So there are two answers here, very good answers. Answer number one is rack and stack. So when you see this in your resume, when you see this, I talked about it last week on Sunday for the benefit of everybody. We are now at the stage of trying to sell ourselves in the market. Okay. We are trying to get to a point now that you have a piece of paper that tells people who you are, okay? Your profile, okay? So if you are doing racking and stacking, somebody says, I've done rack and stack. What does rack and stack mean? So racks, those are the cabinets, and the servers and the devices that are you see in there are the stack. So you have a rack over here in green. You can see this one, this is a rack, right? And then inside here, you'll come to find out that there on the very top is usually you will have the routers. All the routers are usually put in this row, the very top. These are the routers. Okay, that's where the routers will go. Okay, we are studying in networking, so you should know that. So your routers are usually on the top, followed by your switches. The switches come here next. Okay, sometimes you also have like a patch panel on the top. You might have a patch panel on the top. You might have a patch panel on the bottom. But in fact, because I forgot to ask AI to draw me. We'll do a stack. Don't worry about a stack. I have a real picture of a stack. So usually you have on this side, you're going to have a patch panel. Okay, you'll have a patch panel. Okay, you have a patch panel. Patch panel means where all the cables will be identified. They're going in, coming out. You're organizing them in a single place. Then obviously this one will then become the router. Okay, and then you are going to have a switch. Okay, so this is the stack, right? This is the stack. You know the good old days when you had a haystack. So you have a stack. So rack and then the stack. Okay, rack and stack. Now you know what that means. Then you would have different type of servers here. Remember, we have three-tier architecture. You also have sometimes at the bottom here. You will sometimes have, not sometimes, a lot of times you also have firewall. Firewall are two types. There is a software firewall and there is a hardware firewall. Remember that. Okay, sometimes it comes up in you're an expert, you walk in, the ones we are doing in Linux, where we use the firewall hyphen cmd command, which we are going to use today, that is called software firewall. Hardware is Palo Alto. You can Google this, go on YouTube, whatever you want to do. But Palo Alto is very popular. It's a hardware for firewall. Okay, that's where your cybersecurity and all that starts. And what is cybersecurity, right? I mean, everybody is talking about it. It's an opportunity. You can see the guy over here. You can see the guy over here. Um, he's doing some testing before making sure the cables are nicely, neatly done. He's got like a patch panel here. You can see there's a patch panel, right? And so he's just going and testing and checking things around if everything's working on that server, right? And he's on the back end of it. See, this is the front, this is the back, right? Uh, so I've given you some idea of how this table. So on A1, you have rack one, and then you'll have some cabling uh, given to you. Any company that is working there, when they want to, the word that was used early on, I was looking for was, of course, you have, let's do this in red. So you have decommissioning, right? Decommissioning, decom, and then you have commissioning. Okay, this guy is commissioning, and this guy is decommissioning. He's removing it. Right, this guy is actually doing it, is putting a new one in, and that guy is taking the old one out. Now, you can't just decommission something. You can't just walk up to the rack and the stack and unplug all the cables, wires, turn the machine down, off, and do you think we can do that? No, we cannot do that. We can't just go walk up to this rack and just like this guy is doing, unplug all the cables, turn the machine off, remove it, and come back and put a new one. There is a process. There's a process of decommissioning and there's a process of commissioning. The process of commissioning, ladies and gentlemen, uh, is called is called sorry, I should have put it up here. Provisioning and configuration. And I'll provide these slides to you. Okay. It is a so when you have to let me switch the slides for you guys. 1 second here. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. So what I want to do is I'll switch this. Now we can go to that one. Yeah. Right. So you have rack and stack. This is kind of like an area of the data center. Now, in the data center, when people are, these are the people on the floor, the data center techs, the people who are working on the floor, putting the new one and the old one. But the person that you're going to talk to, because we are sitting in the office, right? We are all sitting right now. Let's assume all of us are having a remote job. All of you are working remotely, right? You're not on the site, you're not in the data center, but right now you are working one of these servers, that is our Zen Orchestra server. One of these servers over here, you have SSH'd into this server over here right now. All of you are right now working on a server. You came in through OpenVPN. So OpenVPN was sitting over here, and OpenVPN is allowing all the traffic to come through here, the traffic. You and I are creating that traffic. SSH, we are doing it, we are creating a traffic. If we are doing HTTP, we are creating traffic. If we are trying to work in this machine, we are generating traffic. Okay. So we are the traffic, all of us. We are creating our machines. I asked everybody, please go and check your working. So we are now working in the data center. Okay. Um, so this data center that you're seeing in front of you, when you have a problem over here, all of you give me a call, or you give Bilal a call, or we have an L1, L2, L3 support team, right? So usually when we run into a problem in a company, right? What happens? Let me show you the flow. You are the caller, and believe me, that's the word you're going to see a lot in L1, L2 support. So understand that there is a caller. Okay, who is the caller? The caller in the world of IT is the client. Okay, the client. The caller is the client. Meaning you have your client machine. Okay, so the caller will now reach out to a group. Okay, so in a company you have a group. You're always working in a group of maybe 5 people, one, two, three, four, five. Okay. So in any given shift, you may have 5 people, right? So if the caller wants to reach you to say there's a problem on this machine, okay, they have to do something else. They can send you an email. They can send you a message like we are on Zoom right now, and somebody says, okay, Akinadisa sends me, just like now we had 2 calls. Somebody said, please check my message. I have a problem on my machine. Mehak said, hey, my open VPN is not working. I cannot even get in the machine. Okay. So all of this currently, as you see, is coming to, and as you know, as we are coming along, I'm trying to make sure we understand that, okay, in place of all of these right now, obviously, of course, is one guy called me, Nadeem. But and that's why I want to teach you this. So in reality, what is going to happen is we are going to introduce you next week to a ticketing system. Okay, ticketing system. So you have to first of all come to you have to create a ticket. Okay, you have to create a ticket. A ticket has to be created. Okay, the most popular ticketing system in the world is Jira. Okay, we will also look into that. We will do a lot of labs on ticketing, so you guys can become very good at ticketing. Okay, so you will create a ticket. In this ticket, you're going to describe your problem. You know, what is your IP? Of course, when we do ticketing, you'll see that. I mean, basic things in a ticket is you must know the IP of your machine. I mean, you can't even tell anybody in a big data center what you want. So they don't, you cannot talk to the data center directly. You have to create a document called a Jira ticket or a ServiceNow ticket, SNO, the Snow tickets. These are two very popular ticketing systems and very expensive. I've tried to negotiate with Snow teams here in Dallas, and I tell you, they are talking about $10,000. I don't have that kind of money to for the class. I wish I could have paid them little bit and got maybe some limited access, but they won't let us have it. So it's really expensive to have Snow. Snow is a very good ticketing system. Uh, and I pray that all of us get to a point where we can implement both Jira and Snow. So Jira, we will look at Jira. Jira gives us 10 free tickets. We will play with that. Um, so in the ticket, you must have an IP. Without an IP, ladies and gentlemen, there is no talk. You can't be telling me, I can be telling you, my name is Nadeem, I have a problem. Well, these people over here don't know who's Abby, who's Nadeem. This guy who's standing here, who's going to get the ticket, this gentleman who is in the data center representing receives the point of contact, the POC, the point of contact in the data center. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't probably even know the full names of all the people in his own room here. Okay. So in order to get to this guy over here, in order to get to this guy who can resolve your problem, who can actually send somebody on the floor, you can see him over here, right? He can send this guy, or he's over here himself. If he has to check it himself, he's going to go do it for you. So this picture is important. I'm going to really give you these pictures. Look at him over here, and you can look at him over here, right? So in the data center, when I was working with a lot of point of contacts, they will actually go to the floor and take care because they don't have enough people to just say, yeah, oh, can you go check this for me? So he gets a ticket, he'll go fix it. Okay. So this is how it works in a data center. Okay. This is an intro, an overview of data center. Then we'll come to websites. Okay. Now, besides an IP, you're going to have to, of course, give your name, right? Uh, of course, you're going to have to describe your problem. You'll have to say, hey, I cannot do this, or that. That's my access issue. Block this issue, that issue. Okay. So now this Jira will not come to this guy. This Jira will go to that team. Let's say rack number 2. Okay. Rack number 2. This rack is a team that is working on, this is a team called let's call this the performance testing team. Performance testing. Okay, perf test. We are going to talk about, see, so your environment, your team is working in environment. Okay. You are working you have a group. When you take an interview, you get a job, or you're working for yourself, this is how you have to organize yourself. This is what it takes to be able to manage a simple data center. Okay, and understanding this helps you to understand when companies are looking for people, when companies are looking for professional people, right? What are they really? How are they operating? They are looking to hire people over here, right? If you have an interview for Linux, it's usually over in this place. They're looking to hire you here, put you in this group. You are in between the developers This is the developer, right? This guy is a developer, the caller. He's calling, he's created a Jira. Jira comes to your group. Your group assigns a ticket to you. You open the ticket, you see what the problem is. Now you may have to raise a data center ticket. You have to raise another ticket, right? And that is going to be a ticket to the data center. And that is the ticket that the data center people will be able to pick up. So that ticket will come down to this guy. Okay. So let me clean this up again for you. Make it very simple, right? Um, somebody has complained about a problem in this machine. They cannot access this machine. They have an access issue. Okay. So there is a process called a ticketing system. Okay. And we are going to look at that. We just kind of introduce the ticketing system. I'm not going to go into the details of how a ticketing system works until you guys do a ticket. We have somebody complaining that despite the fact that our server is up and running, their virtual machine on this server is down. Okay, their virtual machine, their VM, their virtual machine is down. Okay, so we have to do a lot of things. Is this machine actually working, or is the whole machine shut down? Okay, so if you have to send this guy to turn this machine on, so this is off, right? If the machine is off and you want him to turn it on physically on, you want him to walk out of this floor, go down, walk maybe, for 5 minutes because this data centers are big, and get to this rack. Because you have to give him, remember in the ticket, you have to give him a rack number. You have to give him a rack number because he doesn't know where to go. And in the rack number, you're going to have to give him a serial number as well of the machine. So each of these machines have a serial number. Okay, they have a serial number. So you have to give him a serial number. Your team already has that information and data. That's how he knows I have to go to rack number 2. Okay, and when I get to rack number 2, when I open the door, he's going to look for the serial number, and maybe that is the machine. That may be the machine for him. And so let's say he gets this one, and this is the machine. It is rack 3. Your ticket that is going to go out, because the caller, remember this one thing, ladies and gentlemen, remember this very carefully. Okay, the caller does not know. Like right now, we have Mehak and Abdul Ghani, Hamida, Mehak and Abdul Ghani, right? They are a caller. They said, hey, let's raise a ticket. We raise a ticket, and the ticket will come to a team. Okay, this is the support team sitting over here as a group. Uh, Depending on the server environment, this could be a SIT group, it could be a production team, right? So this now ticket comes to a team member here. Okay, this team member now, what they do is they raise another ticket. So there's a ticket coming to you, and then you have to raise a ticket to the data center, and you have to tell them the rack. Okay, you have to tell them the IP, you have to tell them the serial number of the machine, because this guy cannot go and find it for you. There's no way on the planet he can discover the machine automatically. So there is a level, there's a ticket coming in from a caller. Remember this word caller. You'll see this a lot in the industry. There is a ticket. They cannot raise a ticket to the data center directly. Companies don't allow that anymore. It used to be where a developer, so because otherwise this caller, any caller can be reaching the data center 24/7, and the data center will slow down. They cannot, it's like a mechanic shop. The mechanic, you don't reach the mechanic directly and tell him, is the bay full? Can I bring my car? You reach the front desk. You have to get to the reception of a mechanic's garage, and talk to the people there. Hey, I have a problem in my car, whatever. They say, okay, bring your car in, right? Then they will raise a ticket and give it to the mechanic. A good shop will raise a ticket, and the mechanic shops that are making good money, that's how they operate, right? Now they will raise a ticket and give it to the mechanic to go and find it, fix the problem, and come back and close this ticket. They will eventually close the ticket. They'll report it back to. So this ticket will be raised, and this ticket will first of all go to this guy, to the data center. Data center has a point of contact. The data center point of contact will now then go out and fix the problem on the actual server. Either he will do it if it is a small one, or he will assign somebody to do it. So this is the whole process, and we're going to talk about ticketing. Okay. We've done a lot of time on this one. Let's clear this up. So this early on, like I said, we had the rack and cable matrix. This is the one chart he has. This is how he will know where to go and commission and decommission. If he has to commission a new one, we are going to study. You remember I've been talking about provisioning and configuration, right? So commissioning is nothing more than provisioning and configuration. So if you decommission one, how do you decommission it, and how do you provision a new one? Okay, and we are going to talk about this maybe next week. If you're lucky, yeah, maybe. If not, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see how we'll do it because we have a whole data center class. So that's why I've been holding back on provisioning and configuration. What is provisioning and configuration, right? So how do you do provisioning and configuration? Um, but then there is something that happens every week, right? Which has nothing to do with provision. This is already a running machine, and a running machine requires updates and upgrades. The if you are not if you are not understand this very carefully, if you are not decommissioning and commissioning, if you're not provisioning and configuring, okay, decommissioning, another word for commissioning a machine is provisioning and configuration. The word commissioning is not very popular in the IT industry. It will be, I have a new server, uh, and somebody says, you want to commission the new server, but then the next question comes up, provisioning and configuration. That is why in an interview, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be asked, have you done provisioning and configuration? Okay. And no better thing to talk about than using the Linux box because these servers are almost, I would have to say, 80% Linux, 20% Windows, okay, in these data centers. Because Windows is still being used. Windows hasn't gone away. Okay, so Windows servers are there too, but we are largely looking at the 77% market is Linux. So um, next thing is we're going to go into is so we have patching and updates and upgrades. So I'm going to stop here today because this is where we're going to start. Our class today is going to start. And one of the things you note about patching, I want all of you to notice this very carefully. There is a patching window, right? What is the timing here? It is always 10 p.m. or 9 in the United States data centers and 6 a.m. This is EST meaning Eastern Time. Okay, so we're dealing with a lot of projects that come out of the US. So a lot of those projects are based on Eastern Time, right? Not on Central Time, not on California time. They're mostly based on Eastern Time. Okay, um, so 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. If this was Nigeria or this was India and Pakistan, and you have a data center in that country, then it will also follow the Nigeria time or the Pakistan time or the India time, IND. Okay, but patching is done 10 in the night and 6 a.m. in the morning. Understand this very, very, very carefully. Do not forget this picture in your mind. When does patching the windows come in? 10 in the night, 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, what is patching? Okay, they asked this question to a guy in my last class who had the opportunity to get a job. And despite all of this teaching patching, I don't know, when I was teaching this class, maybe he was watching a movie on Netflix. The guy was quite alert. I went to his house. I even coached him. Not sure what he was thinking, because there are a lot of people thinking, well, I'll get a job. I'll get into the IT. It's not the same anymore. People are going to ask you real questions. Don't just sit here thinking I will get a job. I'm telling you, you can get a job, and a person can get fired after 2 weeks if you don't pay attention. So take this time to not get yourself fired. We cannot help anybody who gets fired, right? The guy went into an interview. They asked him a question. Oh, I see on your resume. I was the one who put the resume. He said, I see you've done a lot of patching. Tell me about patching. When somebody tells you, tell me about patching, the two things that should come to your mind right away is updates and upgrades. Updates and upgrades. Let's understand that word first. So let me stop this for a second, uh, and let's go to your machine. All right? Let's go to your machines. What is an upgrade or an update? Okay, when we are going to talk about that, I'll give you the slides, I'll walk you through. Imagine that we had wonderful, beautiful slides. We're teaching you RPM, DNF package, this, and a guy goes to an interview. I'm listening to him live. They're asking him what is patching. Yes, he's got the PowerPoint slides. I've gone to his house. I've given him an update. I've told him that they'll ask you about patching. Do you know what he says in the interview? He says, "Oh, if you give me 5 days, I will learn patching." And that was when he literally dropped a bomb, like a Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb on himself. Because how can you walk in an interview saying that you're 5 years experienced and you don't know the most fundamental thing, the most important thing? Look at this picture. This thing is going on every day. Patching. Every day. Every day I have a problem with my OpenVPN. I have to fix it. Every day. If you're dealing with networks, you have problems. You're dealing with virtual machines, you're going to have problems. Machines can overheat. Machines have some issues. Cables stop working. Cables get brittle. Cables can fail. So there's a lot going on. So there's patching continuously. What you call when you change the oil on your car. Okay, that's called preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance, right? Preventive maintenance is, this is what patching is. A preventive maintenance. It's a risk mitigation. Preventive. You want to prevent, okay, maintenance. That's what you're doing. That's what patching is. Like you change the oil in your car. You change the tires in your car. Oh, don't change the tires in your car. Don't change the oil in your car. Don't look at the water in your car. Keep driving it for 5 years. The car will fall apart. So why do I need to? People say, why do I need patching? They asked him this question. Well, why do you think we need patching? He said, let me think about it and I'll come back to you. Do you think he's sitting at a job that they have time to think about? The reason is that this is preventive maintenance, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you need it? Because it is preventive maintenance. He had the answer, but some people are uh, some people are taking this class, uh, and they're thinking that I just need to get a job and I'll make money and my life will be great. I'm telling you, you're living in a very competitive world today. This is not 20 years ago where you can just get away with anything, or even 10 years ago, right? The industry has been changing now. They expect you to understand what is patching. Patching is update and upgrade. If somebody says, what is patching? Patching is update and upgrade. If somebody says, well, why do you patch? What is patching? Updates and upgrades. Why do you patch? Because it is a preventive maintenance program. That's what it is. It prevents you from problems. If you are continuously looking and fixing things in your machine, you're keeping up with the maintenance of the machine, the programs, making sure you're cleaning files, you making sure your repositories are clean. You're good. We are talking about it. So let's look at this. What is it? All of you should be able to do this right now. The first patching on your machine. Okay, let's do the first patching. Update and upgrade. Okay, update. Let's do that. All of you have your machines. Let's go to the machine here. Where's my machine? All of you should type in DNF. Okay. Oh my God, my machine is frozen. Hold on a second. I think my machine is frozen. Yeah. Oh no, it's been sitting there for too long. All night. There you go. So you do your first patching. Okay, and then we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break and we're going to come down to website building. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my machine. SSH root at 192.168.1.1, sorry, dot 233. Please don't go into this machine. This is my machine, ABC. And if you do, just you're welcome to use it. You're welcome to play with it. Oh, I did change the password. Now you can't go in there. Okay. I did something sneaky. All right. Um, so we need this before we start the class, next class. It's going to take about 10 minutes. So everybody, please, are you all in your Linux machines? And those of you who are not in your Linux machine, that is fine. Okay. We are going to do what?
I am.
Okay. We are doing what? We are doing patching. Okay. Oh my God, this machine. 1 second. Now look at how bad this Verizon box is. It's throwing me out. Wow. It's not even letting me connect to my
Verizon is
old.
the best, I guess.
Was that? Uh, Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Hassan, you were saying something?
I thought Verizon is a good one.
I thought so too. Verizon is used by Bank of America, but you know the 5G is not a good one. I'm using the 5G box. You need a cable connection. That is why you never want to rely on 5G networks and Wi-Fi networks for data centers. All data centers are cabled, hardwired, because you want to make sure that your connections are not dropping out. Otherwise, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I have one going on right now. So we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, patching. Patching, well, the first
Nadeem
step
bhai,
is
can you increase the font a little bit?
oh yeah,
Are
yeah,
we,
yeah, sorry.
boss, are we using the terminal or we
Linux,
using?
Linux box.
Okay.
So what are we trying to do here, guys? Tell me again. We are trying to do patching. And what is the first thing in patching that you need to know? We are going to run in patching. So I'm just going to put a hash. So patching and the activity for patching uh, is is upgrade. We are going to upgrade our system. Oh, sorry, update. We're not upgrade. Update and upgrade. So if you just do DNF, update, and hit enter, and -y, sorry. Yes, let me do this, Control C. Sorry. DNF update -y. I forgot that. Sorry. So I don't have to type in different steps. So you guys should start running the update now. DNF update -y. See, installed 16, upgrade 257 packages. So the update will also include some upgrades. So we are going to take a break. I'm going to go ahead and stop the record. DNF install -y is saying usage DNF install error. The following arguments are required. Package, 1 second. This is an interesting one. 1 second. You are having an error in this. That's 1 second. Let me see.
Okay.
What could be the problem?
Right, stop.
Don't just keep your screen there. Let's take a look at it. So we have
Everybody
it.
says doing is work.
1 second. Let me. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you would think that an upgrade command will just run smoothly. Now, if you are doing this using any other VirtualBox or WSL, no problems will happen. But because we are running multiple machines in a data center, he is running into a problem which is telling us that the machine will not allow him to upgrade. Why? Because these packages in a data center are associated with the time. You have to have the right time on your machine. This is one problem, the date command. Why the date command is so important? I know that all of us, when we started the class, we had the date command. And everybody thinks, well, what is the big deal? Date command. But here you can see that the date command is telling us that his machine is producing a date called Friday, June 26th, and the time is also kind of off, 12:37:52 p.m. Central Daylight Time 2026. Now, that being said, what we have to do now is, so you've run the time. So now run the next command called time date CTL. Time and yeah, so it's going to be, your command is going to be time date, one word, CTL. Time, one word, time date, one word. And in the end of date, C for Charlie, T for television, L for London. C. Yep, you got it. Hit it and hit enter. Okay. So we can see clearly your time and date on this machine. 1 second. So with that being said, right, so we have to do a few things. 1 second. It's not changing it. It should have, well, the update command should have, but we don't have a time date command running on it. Let's fix that first.
You have
So,
to synchronize that system clock
yeah,
or something.
yes. So he basically, we have to synchronize and get an NTP, maybe the service that is not working properly on his machine. So there are, ladies and gentlemen, in here, let me explain to you. This problem is, my God, I could not have even asked for anything more. You guys are lucky. So we have a server, right, called the NTP server that runs a service called Cronny. Cronny D. Okay. Every patching, this was our next step in patching, but you can see the problem here already happening. So here's the Cronny, your Cronny, uh, and your Cronny D, daemon. So the NTP time server is not updating correctly. Okay. So this is an NTP problem. Every patching that happens, they always go through every quarter. So you have in 4 years, in 1 year, you have 4 quarters. Every 3 months, you will go through a patching exercise called NTP. See now, since this server was not patched, it has an NTP issue. So part of preventive maintenance is to make sure your NTP is updated. Okay. So how do we do that? Since we are already talking about patching, we might as well go ahead and do that. Can you copy the command from copy this command? Let me send you the command in the chat. Can you copy it from the chat, Olafemi? Or no?
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, first of all, let's go and look at the status. Type in the systemctl status, systemctl. Your screen is very small, but that's fine. We'll have to deal with it for now. Systemctl status space status space crony D CHRONY crony Y and D for Delta D. Enter. Okay, so your crony service is enabled. Look at what it is saying in yellow. Can you read it? Backward time jump detected.
Yes.
So
can't
system clock wrong. You see that?
Wow.
The last line in yellow says system clock is
Yes.
wrong.
Wrong.
So in a data center, when you run into these problems, they have to do an NTP patching. Now, if I were to just teach you to do NTP patching, nobody can appreciate it. This is a real problem. Thank God somebody's machine has this problem. I couldn't even ask for it. This is amazing. So, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we leave this alone until tomorrow and we can talk about, otherwise this whole class will become a class of patching.
Okay.
NTP requires us to do a few things. I will give you the steps. Everybody can try them and we can move forward from that. So let's close the screen. Let's go to hosting our website.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We have found the problem during patching. Is everybody clear what we are doing, or are you unclear? Anybody understood the problem? Anybody did not understand the problem? Please open your mic and ask.
Sir,
Yeah, walaikum salam.
I forgot my Guacamole password.
It's okay.
It has been
You
long that I
forgot your.
use it. I was using Zen Orchestra all the time.
No problem. No problem. Uh, sorry, I didn't catch this. We are talking. Am I talking to?
I mean, maybe we can do it later. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I mean, this is Akim, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we can. So now tell me, what is your problem right now?
The password I forgot. I tried it a
Oh
few
no, yeah,
times.
that would require us to do a new recovery. So that would take us time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
No problem.
Okay, that's okay. It's good to know. We have about 7 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks left. It's good that all of you are checking your machines. And hopefully we can wrap up this class in 6 weeks to 7 weeks with a good, strong understanding. So check your machines, yes. No problem. We can do it after class. You don't have to apologize. It's okay. All right. Abdurrahman Daud, are you good? Okay. No
Yes,
more hands
my
raised.
problem is through the
Okay, I'll just summarize it so we can go to the website. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about patching, and I'm going to summarize this to you. I'm going to update this board. This, the good old days, we used to have blackboard, then we now have whiteboard, and so this is now they have computer generated boards. So this is a board that you'll find in the data center. They have them, right? All of us are sitting around this table right now. Imagine yourself sitting around this table, right? Now, if you notice this picture, I want to zoom in on this picture for you. So we are doing an upgrade. We did that today. we do an NTP. I'm going to update this table when we come back to actual. I just wanted to introduce you to patching. Today's class was introduction to data center, introduction to patching. So I'm going to stop at that. I'm not going to go any deeper into it. So now you understand basically what patching is about. You guys were sitting around, okay, in the good old days, you were sitting around. Now we're all sitting around the world, okay, remotely. Now you haven't paid attention to one thing, and I'm going to draw your attention to it, right? Let me do that real quick. If you look at these pictures very carefully, okay, let me end the show. Let me look at this picture very carefully. Right? This guy has something written on his shirt, okay? Cab. You can see the word here, cab. Right? We have something here, Takacs. This is auth teams. We're going to talk about them, okay? Then this is just the team. Of course, this is an AI generated image. It didn't give me everything I was asking. Has some kind of names and all that. You can see that this guy has a laptop, which is what all of us are going to have. We are also going to be looking at a spreadsheet that I will provide you on the 100 days of Linux. I have put a whole project. We will go through that project as well. And as far as the spreadsheet is concerned, you also have a checklist that you're looking at. So remember these words, checklist. Okay. So you can't forget these. I can teach you all day. You can memorize them. I want you to look at this picture carefully. You know, when you have to learn a language, let's say I wanted to learn Abby's language. Let's say I wanted to learn Yoruba. How can I learn Yoruba? Now, for me to learn Yoruba would be very difficult unless I immerse myself for a long time in Nigeria. Let's say you all want to learn some Urdu, right? You say, okay, well, I need to go to meet Pakistanis. I want to learn Punjabi, okay? Pashto, the many languages. Everybody has many languages, okay? So one of the things that you do in learning is, first of all, you have to have a very clear understanding of I don't know. Let me come back to that. First of all, you need to have a checklist. Okay. If you are sitting in an interview and I ask you this question, I'm going to ask you these guys. When we do the data center, I'm going to take everybody is going to book a slot with me. I'm going to have a 30-minute meeting with you, a real meeting like this. Okay. So you have this kind of a meeting is called a CAB meeting. Remember that. Okay. Don't ask me what CAB is. Leave it alone, no depth. This is a CAB meeting. This is a meeting that is coming to decide what do we need to do, who needs to be there in order for this thing to happen. We want patching to happen. We must have a checklist. We must have what is known as NCD. Okay, this is an NCD, right? We have to have a team that is doing alert. You see this guy over here? Alert, this guy. He's part of the alert team. He's looking at a screen. He's making sure that there are no alerts. Anybody can tell me what is alert? Anybody? Open your mic. Tell me, if I bring this machine down, if I bring it down, will there be an alert?
Yes.
There should be, yes.
100%. 100%. And by the way, let's say Abby is the manager. Let's say this data center is Abby is. Let's all assume for this class moving forward that everybody Owei is the group manager here. Abby, all of these people will get the emails. You will get the email. But if Abby gets 300 emails, ting 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 ting, because you have 300 servers. Suddenly, Abby starts to get, he's sleeping. He's traveling with the family. He took the time off. He's traveling, he's somewhere. And now, suddenly, he gets 300 alerts. His phone is just going off crazy. Zip, 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 zip. 300 alerts. It's going to make him mad. people are going to reach out to him. Hey, you are the manager. What's going on? Why is this alerts, 300 alerts coming? Is there a problem? Is there an issue? So one of the things Abby has to do, he has to say, call in. He said, hey, this is over here. Let's say that this is Islamia sitting here on the monitoring team. And let's say on the alerting team, we have got Asim. So Abby is going to say, hey, I need to call a CAB meeting before the patching. So he's going to call a meeting before the patching, right? This could be a Zoom meeting. Nowadays, people don't come in a room and do CAB meetings anymore because everybody's working remotely a lot of times. So if they're not in an office, they'll go on Zoom and they'll bring everybody on board. They'll ask the alerting team, have you turned off the alerts? When are the alerts supposed to be turned off? Between which window and which window? Between 10
10
p.m.
to 6.
and 6 a.m.
10 to
this
6
guy-
a.m.
Yeah. Asim needs to turn off the alert. So Asim needs to turn off the alert and report that back to Abby. Asim will say, look, I'm part of the alerting team, Mr. Abiwari. We are alert team. We are looking at your 300 servers that you have told us. We are going to have a software in the back. We are going to go ahead and what is your patching time? So Abby will let bring in everybody in the team and say, ladies and gentlemen, this coming next 3 months, we are going to be doing a lot of upgrades. Okay, we are going to be doing a lot of upgrades. This is what we are going to do. Okay, and while we're doing these upgrades, we also have to look at NTP servers. We are organizing ourselves. We have a start time. We have a completion time. He'll go through this table with his team. He'll show this on Zoom. He'll let everybody know 10. So the guy who's setting the alert has to be turned off. The alerting team, let me put it here. Your alerting team, their job is to turn off the alert. You have 300 machines. If you don't turn off the alert, Abby might have to write a note against you because he is going to be asked by upper management, what's going on? Why are these 300 alerts coming? Are we down on production? Did we burn the data center? Did something happen that has gone crazy? So that will directly put him in the line of fire because he is in charge of making sure that everybody is doing their job. He is going to be the guy who's going to make that final decision that on let us say next week, let me look at the day. What is next week? Tuesday. Today is 15th, 16th. Let's say 18th. Let's say August. This meeting is for August 18th. Okay, 2026. On August 18, 2026, 300 machines are going to be turned off. Okay, because there's a potential that we have to. Now, you're not planning to turn them off, but there is a potential problem that might lead to you turning maybe 10 of them. You have to power them down, power them back up. And during the patching window, you don't want anybody to mess with these machines. You have to isolate and quarantine these 300 machines. Quarantine them. Nobody should be touching them. Nobody should be going inside these 300 machines, right? So Abby is going to communicate this to his team and say, look, guys and girls, boys and girls, we got patching going on. This is a CAB meeting. I want the alert team to tell me. So Asim will come here. Asim will say, okay, Mr. Abby, we are going to turn the alerts off at 9:30. And we will turn them on we'll turn the alerts off at 9:30 and we will turn the alerts on 6:30 a.m. Can anybody explain to me why Asim will do such a thing? Why Asim will turn off the alert at 9:30 and he will turn it on at 6:30?
When the machine goes down, it's gonna generate the errors and alert message for everyone whoever connected with the server and the machine.
Exactly. You don't want to come at 10 o'clock and turn this at 10 off at 10 because patching will start at 10. People are going to be involved in patching. So 30 minutes before this, you need to turn it off. 30 minutes after the patching is completed, giving people time, but usually patching windows are very strict. Okay, nobody exceeds 6 o'clock. There is a mechanism in the system that will log everybody out. Boom, it'll kick you out. So you better go inside there knowing what you're doing. You can't just sit there from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. No, sir. Nobody's going to allow you to do that. That's what Abby's job is to do. Abby is the guy who's going to make sure that this team, all of this is taken care of. He is going to be looking at the 5,000 feet overview of what's going on, right? So 9:30, 6:30. Anybody who does not understand this, tell me now. Change Advisory Board. Thank you. Akeem is gathering where a cross-functional team evaluates, prioritizes, and authorizes high-risk or major changes to a company's IT infrastructure or business processes. The main goal is to balance innovation with service stability by minimizing operational risk and downtime. Thank you very much. I love that definition you put in there. Change Advisory Board. I was very good. So the Change Advisory Board is looking at everything on those 300 machines. So now check mark as the definition as given by Akeem is gathering where a cross-functional, what is cross-functional team? For all of you who are new to IT, what is cross-functional, Asim? Ardelovo. क्या माना है
First to allow
cross-functional का? Go ahead.
just to allow coordinate.
Okay, go ahead. Give it a try. Give it a try. What is cross-functional? What do you mean by cross-functional?
Cross-functional would be a team from different departments coming together to achieve a particular goal.
Okay, very good. This is cross-functional. Everybody is doing a different function. Everybody is coming from a different. Abby is not their manager. Abby is managing a team of people coming from different teams. That is why it is called cross-functional. They are all different teams. Alerting team is not reporting to Abby, but alerting team has to, for this patching, they will report to him. They are now being seconded or they have been moved by the alerting team. They'll say, look, Abby, your point of contact for alerting that night, it's going to be Asim. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some things going on here. You have the alerting team. Okay, their job is to turn off the alerts. Then you have the monitoring team. Okay, the monitoring team. The monitoring team's job is to make sure that the alerts are off, and if the alerts start to come, they are the secondary support. Monitoring and alerting work together. They are monitoring everything. Okay, so somebody has to sit there and monitor this, like a class prefect, like a monitor. Okay, some companies don't even bring a monitoring. They just combine monitoring and alerting into one function. That if you have done it, if you have fixed the alerts, you're just monitoring to make sure those alerts are not there. So these two sometimes are separate, sometimes they are the one and the same person. Now, the actual people who are going to do it are the team that is sitting around the table. You may have 2 people supporting in the night. You may have 3 people supporting in the night. You may be the only person supporting it at night. 2 people, maybe somebody's a lady and she's expecting a baby. So she's going to be out of the office for maybe a few months. Okay, 2 weeks. So this lady may not be there anymore. So now out of 3 people, only 2 are left. And at the last minute, one of the people has an emergency. Then you are the last one left. So a lot of the load of this patching will come on you. Okay. So that is why, how do you know that everything will go nice in the night? The NCD, this document will guide you. The checklist will guide you. Everybody has a checklist on their table. You can see what to do that night. We have the IPs, we have this information. Let me show you one last thing, then we take a small break, and let's make our website today that we have promised. Okay, okay, right. Let's do one last thing that I want to share with you.
Nadine, before you change the subject to something else, on this patching. So my understanding here is that patching is more about updates and upgrades.
Yes.
Which is more about software stuff.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned something about patch panel. Is there a relationship between patching and the patch panel? Because you said the patch panel just.
Oh, go. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, the patch panel is a hardware piece. It's like if you go to the wall of your house where you have maybe a cable connecting into a socket on the wall, patch panels are just sockets. These are physical, patch panels are physical. When we are going to do equipment and Cisco routing and Cisco packet tracer, I'll show you a picture of the patch panel.
It's okay. I just wanted to establish that.
That's a very good point. Very good point. Let's not confuse a hardware piece of plastic that has some RJ45 connections. Basically, it's a socket like you have on a wall. Just that you have, like, you know how you have your electrical strip, like where you plug you plug the power, and then you can bring out your strip and you can put multiple sockets inside, right? You can put your laptop, you can charge your battery, you can charge your phone. So like electric strip that you have that you can put multiple sockets. A patch panel is like that.
It's okay. It's clear. It's clear.
Yeah. So yeah, no, wonderful. So patching is very important. A guy lost his job, had the opportunity of not even working as a consultant for a company because they asked him this question. So lesson learned for me, and I'm not blaming the young man who lost that interview, because that's not how we learn and grow, by criticizing people all the time. Okay, or any student didn't do this, don't do that. People have to do their due diligence. They can't take things for granted in life. Okay, this class is over. Oh, okay, I know it. I have better things to do than I'm doing. This is your time you're using. Use this time and get this out of the way on your checklist. And the words you need to know is CAB. You need to know checklist. I've put so many pictures. I'm going to share these slides with all of you tomorrow. Checklist, NCD, alerting mechanism, people sitting around the table. This Abby is, I'm giving names here to allow everybody to imagine themselves standing in that room, taking that role on themselves. Put yourself in the blue shirt. Put yourself in the alerting shirt. Put yourself in the NCD shirt. Put yourself behind this table and ask yourself, if you ask this question, imagine you're there. You must have an imagination to be able to answer things that you are an expert in data center. So tomorrow when you sit around, you are able to just, somebody says to you, don't blink your eye. You'll say, yeah, I mean, alerting, is that going to be like 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after? So now you become good. You learned something that would have taken you maybe 1 year at a job to learn, right? 1 year, you already know it now, right? And so, good. Let us move on. Let's take a little break. No, what I was going to show you one last thing. All right, let me show you one last thing. Please bear with me. Allow this time is very important. Like I said, this is fun stuff. This is not your typical dry Linux command line where you're bombarded with trying to figure out things. Let me show you something very nice, okay? And on my 100 Days of Linux, I've already put this a long time ago. If you go down here, right, I have added a project, okay? Where are we at? Provisioning, is it? Yeah, right? SonarQube, okay, Grafana, RESTwork, proposal outline. Let me see if I have everything. I have put a cover letter. What we are going to do in this project is I'm going to show you how to bid for a project online. We're going to do a real bidding. Okay, all of you should have your accounts ready. You're going to go after a real project. Okay, and you're going to bid on the project. How do you bid on these projects? Okay, so let me see if I have put all the files, all the don't worry about these ones. Okay, these files here, do not worry about them. I'm going to come to these projects starting next week. I want you to build a website first. I'm trying to see if no, what happened to that those documents? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna try to look for those documents have to be loaded. No, they're not here. Okay, they didn't get loaded yesterday. Okay, I'll push them through. Okay, we take a little break. Uh, we are gonna build our website. I'm gonna give everybody 10 minutes. If we don't have, then we're gonna do the fun stuff. It should and be ready to build your first, host your first website in 10 minutes.